How do you find that line to make sure corporations are paying their fair share, but they're not leaving our country?
Well, listen, I work with a lot of CEOs. I have spent a lot of time with CEOs, and I'm going to tell you that the business leaders who are actually part of the engine of America's economy agree that people should pay their fair share. They also agree that when we look at a plan such as mine that is about investing in the middle class, investing in new industries, investing in bringing down costs, invest in entrepreneurs like small businesses, that the overall economy is stronger and everyone benefits.
She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from, to expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says, we just have to do it. And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when you were a proud Republican, debts and deficits mattered.
My guess is Kamala thought that she was going to go in this softball interview because it's MSNBC. I mean, how hard could it have been? It's Rachel Maddow. You're talking Joy Reid, okay? Nicole Wallace. These are your cheerleaders. These are the people that are hyping your name up. These are the people that are going to the polls and they're going to vote for you. So this was probably, from Kamala's point of view, this is going to be one of those softball interviews. Unfortunately, Kamala didn't do her research. I would have told her, hey, don't do this interview. I mean, if I were her campaign manager, I would have told her, Kamala, you can't do this interview with Stephanie Ruhle. No, a great, big, fat, obese no. Now, let's get to this, because this is going to tell you the biggest bugaboo here.
But how do you find that line to make sure corporations are paying their fair share, but they're not leaving our country?
Well, listen, I work with a lot of CEOs. I have spent a lot of time with CEOs, and I'm going to tell you that the business leaders who are actually part of the engine of America's economy agree that people should pay their fair share.
Who? Can you name them? Who are those CEOs that are saying, we would love to pay our fair share? We can't wait to pay more money. We can't wait to cut into our profits. We can't wait to tell our board of directors that we're going to, start making less money. Who? Name them. Okay, you better not name them, because the second you do, their board of directors are going to call for their resignation. Hey, see, Kamala is not a thinker. I'm not saying it to be disparaging. She's not a thinker. Notice what Stephanie asked. If you're going to get them to pay their quote unquote fair share, meaning you're going to raise their taxes, okay, but how are you going to get them to not leave the country? Now, that should have been Kamala's first tip. Uh-oh, I may be in trouble here. Because, see, that's a tough question. You actually, that question is nuanced. Donald Trump, he could have knocked it out of the park. Why? Because he knows how to keep those companies here. In fact, he knows how to bring companies from China and India back. So he could have answered. She didn't have a clue. She does not have a clue. She doesn't know how to answer the question, which is why she goes into this, I work for CEOs and with CEOs, and they believe they should pay their fair share. Stephanie Ruhle knows that's BS.
I also agree that when we look at a plan such as mine that is about investing in the middle class, investing in new industries, investing in bringing down costs.
How do you invest on bringing down cost? How do you invest in the middle class. These are all all of this is like rainbows and daffodils. That's what she's running on. Rainbows and daffodils. And she's hoping against hope that all of her people, the only reason they're voting for her is because she can check two boxes: gender and race. And that's it.
Invest in entrepreneurs like small businesses, that the overall economy is stronger and everyone benefits.
You see, what Stephanie is asking her is a tough question. How are you going to raise their taxes and get them to not leave the country? She doesn't have an answer. The answer is, well, I talked to them and they want to pay more. What are you talking about? Look at this. Hang on. Hang on a second.
She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from? To expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says, we just have to do it. And that's great. And that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when you were a proud Republican, debts and deficits mattered. She doesn't answer.
Now, when I told you if I were Kamala's campaign manager, I would have said, no, you are not doing this interview. Well, there's a reason for that. It's widely known that Kamala does not do research. She will not listen to anyone. She wants to, fly by the seat of her pants. But this is the reason I would have told her, don't do it. This is just a small little research. Stephanie Rule Hubbard is an American television journalist who is the host of MSNBC's The 11th Hour with Stephanie Rule and the NBC News senior business analyst. What? She is the host of MSNBC's The 11th Hour with Stephanie Rule and the NBC News senior business analyst. How do you think she got that gig? Why do you think she came up with that question? You're going to raise their taxes, huh? How are you going to get them to not leave? Because that's going to be your biggest problem. In other words, for those of you who are not catching on, jobs are going to leave the country. When you're talking about how do you get the CEO not to move to China or India, what you're talking about is how do you keep those jobs here? Well, you can't if you're slamming them with taxes and giving this pie in the sky thing that CEOs, yes, you know what? Every CEO I've run into, well, I know for a fact, they want to pay more. Imagine saying that on national television. You see, this wasn't going to be actually, I'll take this back. It was a softball interview because she really didn't give her any real pushback. But look at Nicole Wallace's face. Look at Nicole Wallace's face when Stephanie starts telling her the truth.
She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from?
You see the smile was erased like immediately. Hold on a second. Hang on a second. Let's go back. Okay. And roll tape.
The question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from? To expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And
see, Stephanie is actually a bona fide money journalist, senior business analyst. She knows all these terms. See, and she knows BS when she hears it, which is why she told Nicole Wallace she didn't answer the questions. How do you know that? Because she knows the answer to the questions. See, had this been an interview with Donald Trump, man, oh man, it would have been crazy. Because he would have had a point of view. She would have had a point of view. He would counter with this. She would counter with that. You can't do that with Kamala. You just have to let her, wow, that sounds wonderful. That's about rainbows and daffodils. She flopped again on MSNBC. And Nicole and Stephanie know she is a train wreck. She's a train wreck. Her biggest accomplishment is that she isn't Donald Trump. That's her biggest achievement. So I tell you, man, I don't see a pathway forward for her. I know a lot of people are going, no, this is going to be a tight race. Sorry. I really don't buy it because of interviews like that. Stephanie RUHLE she knew exactly what she was talking about, and she knew fluff when she heard it. Fair share. And she's like, okay, so then if you're going to make them pay their fair share, how are you going to get them to leave? Look, once again, I'm not an economic guy. I know that much about our economy. But I do know human beings. And that sense of protecting self kicks in when people start attacking you. And that sense of self-preservation kicks in with those CEOs when you start talking about taxing unrealized capital gains and realized capital gains, when you start telling them that they have to pay their fair share, which they're already overwhelmingly paying. They're already doing that, by the way. For those of you out there, well, I don't know, Stu, maybe they should be paying more. They're already paying more. The trick is to get them, we gotta calm down. Because I swear, the words in my brain start like running way ahead of me. It's why I have to like, wait, hold on, stop. The biggest thing to get businesses, CEOs, to bring their companies back is you have to give them incentives to come back. Understand, these are business people. They're concerned with their bottom line. All of your platitudes won't matter. They're concerned about their bottom line. So you have to give them some incentive to come back and to not leave. And so, like when Donald Trump says, I'm going to slap a tariff. If you move that car manufacturer to Mexico, we're slapping 100% tariff on it and nobody will buy your car. Well, guess what? CEOs hear that and go, I guess I gotta stay here. Donald Trump knows what he's doing because he's a businessman. Kamala is a politician, first and foremost. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.